Hello and welcome to the Valley Oak Paper YouTube channel. My name is Cecilia and this is the card I'm going to make today. The idea behind this card was to use foil left over from other projects without it looking like I just wanted to use up leftover foil. Here are the two proof of concept cards I created a couple days ago. I wanted to see if the bird die cuts still read as birds when they're cut from patterned cardstock. I started with the background. First, I put all three stamps in Tim Holtz Floral Outlines stamp set in my stamp positioner. Then I took the darkest color from Recollections Garden Greens cardstock and stamped it with Versamark. I added Ranger Superfine Clear embossing powder, removed stray embossing powder with a dry brush, and then I heated it until the embossing powder melted. To get better coverage, I stamped one of the bouquets twice. I finished my card front by cutting it down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inch and lining it with accent opaque for stability and dimension. The clear heat embossing creates a turn-on-turn effect on the green cardstock. Here's the Tim Holtz die set I'm going to use to decorate my card. It's called Silhouette Birds. The cardstock I use for the birds and the sentiment is the palest blue in the Recollections Ocean packet. I have a drawer of used foil and foil snippets. I wanted to use the negative space from a previous project to give my birds shine. To transfer the negative, I used the Pink Fresh Solid hot foil plate. It's a must-have in my opinion. After trying a few different used foils, I like the Spellbinder's Hypnotic Background foil plate best. It foils a pattern of little dots, so there's lots of gold left in the used foil. Turning to the sentiment, I foiled the largest circle from Tim Holtz Vintage Labels in gold on pale blue cardstock. If you're going for a distressed look, the Vintage Labels foil very well. You need to foil them first, then move the die and cardstock to your die cutting sandwich so you can run them through your die cutting machine. I heat embossed the sentiment "Lucky is a State of Mind" from the Noteworthy stamp set in the middle. To tie the label together with a green background, I ink blended the center in Distress Oxide Mowed Lawn and Pine Needles. I used a microfiber cloth to buff the ink off the embossing and foiling. I added another die cut behind the label and a smaller layer under that one for dimension. After foiling, I removed some of the foil from the edges to reinforce the bird shapes. I was also going to shade the bottom parts with green, but I forgot, so you'll see me do that later in the process. That also serves to reinforce the bird shapes. When I had decided which birds I wanted to use, I added 2 layers of accent opaque behind them. The birds all have delicate feet sticking out from them, and I wanted to adhere them with foam tape. There's no foam tape skinny enough to support these feet and tails, so I needed to reinforce them. I tested the layout again and glued the sentiment label in place. I pop up the birds with foam tape and adhere the card front to the card base. Then I add green shading to the feet and lower parts of the birds and buff off the excess with a microfiber cloth. Then I finish up with some flat Gold Fever confetti by Studio Katja. And that finishes the card for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can find links to everything I used in today's card in the description box below, as well as in my blog post on valleyoakpaper.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.